Hi, I'm Bray Shamblin from South Gallia High School and South Gallia Middle School as part of Gallia County Local Schools. And this is South Gallia Today. And I have two very special guests with me today, Mr. David Moore from the Gallia Vinton ESC, and Mrs. Carey Roberts, one of the teachers at South Gallia High School. But before I talk to them, I want to share a couple updates with you pertaining to South Gallia High School and Middle School. And the first one is a slide that I'd like to share with you regarding our school crest. Our school crest has been updated this year with two seniors as part of the class of 2018. Mr. A.J. Addis and Miss Mindy Swords helped to redesign our school crest, and if you'll notice there, they have done an absolutely wonderful job to set the tone for South Gallia High School for many years to come, and we're very, very proud of that, that initiative was led by students within our school. A couple other updates pertaining to South Gallia High School. Recently, we have been designated as an AP Honor Roll School District. We are one of two school districts in the southeastern portion of the state of Ohio to receive that designation, with the other one being Warren Local School District in Vincent, Ohio. But we are certainly very proud of that. And some of the criteria to be designated as an AP Honor Roll School District, we also have a slide for that as well. To be a part of an AP placement program, we see students that take advantage of favorable impact on college admissions, financial benefits by way of scholarships, and building skills and confidence through developmental and various rigorous programs and opportunities afforded to them through the school. So we're very, very proud to have been designated as an AP Honor Roll School District. And again, some of the criteria as part of that would be inclusion in the AP Honor Roll District is based on the examination of 3 years of AP data. If you'll notice on the slide, that'll be coming up there from 2015 to 2017. Is an increased participation and access to AP by at least 4% in large districts, 6% in medium school districts, and at least 11% in small school districts. And if you know anything about South Gallia High School, we are a small high school with roughly 125 students. And in order to get this is certainly a very, very significant achievement. But we have worked with students across various demographics, improving our scores and performance levels, as well as our course offerings. And one of the new offerings that we're going to be offering in AP for the 2018-2019 school year is AP Capstone, which is a senior seminar component that we offer to our students, and we're very, very excited about rolling that out and adding that to our course offerings in terms of advanced placement to our students. Another awesome event that will be taking place upcoming will be this Saturday evening. Our boys varsity basketball program will be taking on the Simms Valley Vikings on Saturday evening, and we will be performing for the first time our school alma mater. That is something that is new for South Gallia High School. We've been around for 21 years in our educational life as a school, but we've never had an alma mater. And we're certainly very, very excited to be rolling that out, and our marching band will be performing that immediately following the contest on Saturday evening. But for the main reason that we're here today, I'd like to talk to our very, very special guests who are here to discuss the after-school program that is involved with South Gallia High School and South Gallia Middle School, which is the STEPS program, the Choices program. But before we dive into that, Mr. Moore, if you would tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement with the programs.
Okay. Well, I serve as a consultant for the Gallia Vinton ESC. And I also serve as a program manager for our after-school programs in the Gallia County Local School District, in which one of those schools is South Gallia High School. I'm a retired teacher as well as an administrator, which I served for about 17.5 years as a building school principal. And when I had the opportunity to continue to work with students as well as teachers, the Gallia Vinton ESC was the direction for me to go.
Okay. Mrs. Roberts, if you would, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to be a site coordinator for South Gallia.
My name's Carey Roberts, and I'm a math teacher at South Gallia High School. I'm also a site coordinator with Karen Wall, who's also a math teacher there at South Gallia. A lot of times our students need some extra help in their math subjects. It's one of the subjects students seem to struggle with. So we were always encouraging students to stay and participate in the after-school programs in STEPS and Choices. And we both said, you know, we believe that we could help these students achieve more, and we're there to be available to help them with their math and with a lot of cultural things that they can take part in, different experiences that they may not have got to experience without the program. And we really saw the value in the program, and we wanted to be a part of something special.
Mr. Moore, if you would, just elaborate for us on what the Gallia Event and Educational Service Center does holistically, and then what that means too for the after-school program.
Well, at the Gallia Event and ESC, we tried to provide a variety of different services for our stakeholders in the community, as well as our students, as well as our educators. The biggest thing is to give the students the opportunity to achieve academically and provide them with the necessary tools to make that actually happen. On the aspect as far as the teachers are concerned, we provide a lot of professional development. We work with the RESA program, for example. We also help to write grants, which help serve the after-school programs, which we have. And like with South Gallia, for example, they're funded by the 21st Century Grant. And this is where we get the monies and the revenues needed to make that operation go into effect.
Okay. Specifically in regards to the grant opportunities afforded for the after-school program, how does that work, and what does that mean for South Gallia in terms of long-term planning for an after-school program?
Well, as far as the after-school programs at South Gallia, it's kind of a unique situation because it includes both a middle school as well as the high school, with the middle school focusing on grades 6, 7, and 8, high school focusing on 9 through 12. The middle school program is referred to as choices, and our high school program is referred to as steps. And Carey, for example, as well as another colleague of hers, Karen Wall, serve as co-site coordinators for both of those programs. And the program in itself, as far as the funding is concerned, like I said, they are funded through grants, the 21st Century Grant, and the middle school just recently received a new 5-year grant. And this is the first year of that 5-year grant. As for the high school, they're just now finishing up their grants. And hopefully at the end of the year we'll be able to write another grant and see if we can seek some more funding in that way. But the monies itself covers a variety of different things, from the salaries for the staff, for busing and transportation. It also it takes buying supplies and that type of stuff that they need to make the program work. And it gives us the opportunity to allow our kids to experience some different things that they wouldn't normally do if they were at home or on their own. And you know, I think Carey's going to talk a little bit about one of the events that's coming up on the 3rd of February with our students, and I think they'll really like that as well.
So tell me a little bit about how long the after-school program has been around in Gallia County local schools, because I know you'd mentioned that you have previous experience as a teacher and administrator. So when did the after-school program start to take effect with Gallia County local schools that you can remember? And additionally, when did the buy-in really take place? Because right now when I look around Gallia County local schools, I see it as a heavy buy-in from all schools, and everybody's trying to vie for those grant opportunities to participate in, and it's got to start somewhere. And when did that start, and when did it really start to take off?
Well, I can't really give you the actual date that it actually started, but I can tell you, for example, for South Gallia High School, they were on the, they've already had 2 5-year grants and now just finishing up another grant. Mm-hmm. So they were very, very fortunate to get this last 3-year grant that they just received. So it, you know, just because you had a grant one year doesn't necessarily mean you're going to automatically get it the next year.
Right.
And as far as the schools located in Gallia County local schools, you know, we had a lot of our elementaries, like for example, Han and Trace as well as Southwestern, who was part of the grants from last year, but we wasn't able to get their grants renewed for this upcoming year. But that doesn't mean we're going to give it up. We're going to try to reapply for new grants for those schools in the following years in the future, as well as the 2 high schools.
Right, and I think that's something that almost our communities have come to expect, that we're able to offer these after-school programs, because there's just so many advantages and things that people can take advantage of, whether it be from the educational side or the enrichment side. Tutoring services that are being offered, and you know, as it's well known, students in our attendance areas come from lower socioeconomic status, which is very difficult on our families, and being able to provide a snack or a meal is also very, very helpful, and very encouraging to see that we can we're able to offer those things. So, we're very, very thankful to the Gallia Vinton ESC for those grant opportunities and things that are continually provided. It's always very exciting when you get that phone call to say, hey, you've been renewed for 3 or 5 years, because it's not just about offering those services, it's about taking care of those kids. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're there for. We want to make sure that we have our students' best interests at heart, and not just during the regular school day, that it also carries over into the after-school programs.
If I could just add to that real quick too, the family engagement piece.
Absolutely.
That's something that's very, very important to the grants. We kind of take very, very seriously. With usually in most families, both the father and the mother usually have to work. There's not a lot of time where the kids and the families can get together, and we provide those kind of activities for our families, and we really try to strongly encourage the parents to get involved with their kids, because a lot of the success that these kids experience is when parents are on board as well, and that plays a very crucial part when it comes to student academic success, is that family part.
Absolutely. That's something that I can speak to just as a parent of students in the Gallia County Local School District myself. I have 2 students in the elementary schools as well as 1 in the high school at South Gallia, and our family absolutely treasures those opportunities because it gives us something again to do together in a positive setting, which in today's time sometimes becomes very difficult to come by in terms of doing family experiences in a positive nature, but it's certainly very, very exciting, the opportunities that are continually provided through the Gallia Vinton ESC. And that's something, as when I was a principal at Attaville Elementary on the north end of our county, I was very, very tickled to death when I first went to Attaville that they had already had that program rolling. In terms of the after-school program, and to see the benefits of the little children from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade, and then I get to see it carry over to the middle school and high school at South Gallia. It never ceases to amaze me of the opportunities that are continually provided to our students, to our children, to our families, and our community as a whole. So it's very, very exciting in that regard. What are some of the things that specifically South Gallia has been doing to meet the goals not only of the grants for the after-school program, but also just to enrich the lives of our students?
There's so many things that our students have access to. One of our programs that we provide for our students is a driver's education class. This is a financial burden for a lot of people, and we offer these students the 24 hours of class work for free, and normally it's a $90 fee to do the classwork. We also, in addition to that, we've offered them classes with Red's Rolling Garage, the Wiseman Agency, Ohio Valley Bank, things that are associated with driving that you might not think about, just the safety aspect of it. And this year, which is amazing, the STEPS program has worked it so through the grant, if they attend 30 days in the program, we will also pay for their driving instruction. So the actual driving time is also another $100 fee, but if our students come 30 days, then that fee is also waived. The program will pay for it. And that's a huge, huge thing for our students, because, I mean, a lot of students are waiting till they're 18 because of the financial responsibility of it. And this is a really great opportunity for our kids.
That's absolutely wonderful, and certainly a great opportunity. We'll get back into that right after our break. I'm Bray Shamblin with South Gallia Today, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Hi, I'm Bray Shamblin with South Gallia Today, and today's guest with me, Mr. David Moore with the Gallia Vinton Educational Service Center, Mrs. Carey Roberts with South Gallia High School. Mr. Roberts, you had mentioned before we went to break the driver's educational opportunity, and that's something that really strikes a chord with me, because when I think of driver's education, I think it's almost like a roller coaster of an experience. Several years ago, driver's education used to be offered within the school systems. And then it seemed like it was taken away from the school systems and put solely on the backs of, for example, Res Rolling Garage or your local AAA office. And then now it's great to see that come back into the school because, you know, we have a lot of students that want that opportunity to learn how to drive and learn safely. But at the same time, they may not be able to have those opportunities or to get to their local AAA office or to a driver's education course, and bringing it to them, I think, has just been absolutely fantastic. And just something wonderful for our students in terms of an opportunity.
I wanted to touch base on another great opportunity. Actually, there's two I want to talk about. The first is Nicole Phillips, who is an author, and she has written a book called Kindness is Contagious. And because of our Steps and Choices programs, she's going to come into our school and speak to our students about her book. She's also the wife of OU's head basketball coach.
Oh, wow.
And so because of this tie, we're going to be able to take a group of students to Ohio University, tour the college campus there, take them to a lunch, and go see an OU basketball game. And these are the types of experiences that really, to me, make the program so valuable, because many of these students have never been to a college basketball game. They've, you know, never been to Athens or got to see the campus, and it's just a really great opportunity for our students.
And I think that that's something that's extremely beneficial, not only for our students, but just any student to be able to participate in that. They get to go to a college campus. It is a cultural experience for them, absolutely. Getting to see a college basketball game is something I'm sure they'll remember for a long time. But the big piece that I'm really encouraged with is the motivational book, Kindness is Contagious, and I think that is something that is absolutely needed in today's society. Our students, more and more, we deal with self-esteem issues among students, whether it be through social media, issues at home, or issues in the community, or just school life in general. And so that's very, very encouraging to see someone wanting to give back who's not a native to this community, but willing to give back to our students and take care of them in that type of setting. So that's absolutely fantastic. And I know you wanted to talk about another wonderful opportunity that we offer at South Gallia.
There's just so many. Because of these programs, our students have got to do so many things that it's hard to hit every single one. But one course that has really been successful this year is we have a Japanese teacher that comes in and speaks to our students and has taught them so much about the culture and I think there's 4 different alphabets in the Japanese language.
Oh, wow.
And he's taught them the alphabets. I mean, just when I walk in and they're bowing and they're saying sensei, and they've got to sample some Japanese food and you know, learned about anime, which is big right now for all the students, but especially the Japanese culture. And we're planning a trip with these students to see a movie in Athens, also a Japanese anime movie, but they're going to also be able to experience a Japanese dinner, to go in and sample sushi and have a bento box and rice, and these are things a lot of our students have never tried, and I think it's going to be a really great thing for them.
And that's the big thing that the ESC continues to provide that is just absolutely amazing for our students. It's not only talking about it, it's not only showing, but hey, we're going to go and experience it.
Right.
You know, it's hitting on those sensory levels. You know, we're going to see it, we're going to touch it, we're going to feel it, we're going to eat it. You know, and that's just been absolutely amazing to see our kids having those opportunities. I know a couple years ago you took them to a hockey game,
yes,
which was something, and several years ago I know students went to a couple Broadway performances, and so just continue. It never ceases to amaze me the things that the ESC continues to provide through the Steps and Choices programs for our students, and what's also very encouraging is it's almost having to turn people away because the level of participation is so high, and that's also just so neat to see from our kids, and wanting and desiring to participate in those programs. Carey, tell us a little bit about the hunter safety program at South Gallia.
This is a program that comes from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, the Wildlife Department, and Mr. and Mr. Clary, Eric and Ed Clary, come in and they teach the course on hunter safety, which interests a lot of our students, and they work through the course with the students, and at the end of the course they are taking a test, and the student receives a hunter safety certificate. And the students really seem to enjoy that and got a lot of valuable knowledge in, through that program. They also, through that same program, have been coming in and doing archery for the students, which I thought that was a great opportunity for them also. They love to do it.
Oh, and I think that that's something that is, again, just an amazing, amazing program. In our area of the state, we're in a very rural area. We're in an area that's high in wooded hills, valleys, and hunting opportunities abound everywhere. But we want to make sure that people are safe when they're out there doing those activities, enjoying them, yes, but we want to make sure that they're also ultimately safe, and teaching our students the proper way to hunt, to be safe with their hunting equipment, no matter if it's a firearm or a bow and arrow. We want to make sure that they're doing that, not only to keep themselves safe, but everyone around them safe. And that's also been very encouraging, and it's really neat to see the kids pick up the archery so quickly and just have fun doing it. The hands-on experience there, and the encouragement that I've seen from the instructors has just been paramount, and really neat to see too, as they truly want to give back to the youth of today in a place that is totally driven with technology. It is nice to see them get back with just some good basic hands-on experiences and take advantage of those. So that's been very, very encouraging to see. Tell us a little bit about you'd mentioned carving pumpkins to me a while back. Tell me about that.
Graciously, Mr. Moore went out and purchased a pumpkin for every student. And surprisingly, many of our students had never just carved pumpkins. So they carved the pumpkin, they gutted, that's what we call it, gutted the pumpkin, took all the seeds out, and some painted, some carved. But just to see, I see these students all day long in an academic setting, and to see the joy and the happiness they had and the pride that they get from creating something so that some of us take for granted, really, and to put the cell phones down and to pick up a pumpkin and to carve their pumpkin, and they all displayed their pumpkins there and got to take it home, and they were really proud. But those are the type of opportunities that we can offer them that they don't normally receive.
I think that that's been really neat to see, and see the students carving those pumpkins. That's something I remember treasured of just a family experience, that I had when I was a child. I'm sure you all the same as well. But those traditions and things that we can think back and look upon just aren't as commonplace as they used to be in terms of doing things with your family, which I know too that the ESC puts on a family night. And if you want to tell us a little bit about what the family night looks like, and then also what that means too in terms of college planning with FAFSA, and how you kind of intertwine all those things together.
Yeah. At South Gallia this past fall, we had an opening night, or I should say first parent-teacher conference night, and there we were able to bring in some universities like Rio Grande and Marshall University representatives there, and sat down with those parents whose kids are planning on going on to college. And we work with the parents in order to work with FAFSA and get that application filled out and provide those kids as well as the parents the necessary information they need in order to get registered, because there's a lot of paperwork that goes into that to make that happen. We also tied our literacy night into that event as well, and we had kids had the opportunity to go under the dome, so to speak, and see how the planets were developed and that kind of thing, which was something neat, which kids could not do if it wasn't brought there to them. And another big family night that we did this past winter was the night under the lights in the park in our community in Gallipolis, where kids and families had an opportunity to see a Christmas movie, enjoy some pizza and pop. Then they had the opportunity to do a scavenger hunt throughout the park that evening. And before everybody finished that evening, everyone walked out of there with some sort of a gift or a prize. And that meant a lot to them, because a lot of those kids don't get that kind of stuff at Christmas, and we were glad to make that happen, just to see the kids' faces light up. Not only the kids, but the parents as well. Very appreciative of that. And we're right now in the planning stage of working on a science night at South Gallia. I think it's going to be held, February 13th, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to have what they call Mr. C, or the science guy as I call him. He's going to come in and provide a show, an opportunity for not only the kids but as well as the parents. And kids are going to have the opportunity to learn a little bit about energy and safe energy, and through AEP, which is one of the partners that we use. And that was kind of led by Tracy Burnett, who's one of your science teachers, and she's kind of organized all that. So I don't want to take all the credit, by no means, but she's put a lot of work and effort into it. And hopefully with Mr. C, that'll be a very eventful night for both all the students as well as the parents.
Well, I tell you, that's something that we absolutely look forward to, and it's something that's very encouraging to see, whether it's on site or off site of South Gallia High School and South Gallia Middle School. There are wonderful things happening. We certainly appreciate you tuning in today and learning about our after-school programs. We look forward to talking to you next time. This is Bray Shamblin with South Gallia Today. Have a wonderful afternoon.